So Astroneer just got this massive update that introduced some of the things we've been wanting for quite a while now. We finally got a large battery that can store more power than 16 medium batteries at a fraction of the cost. And also stacked platforms, which are my personal favorites, plus a pretty inventive way to make the printer UI easier to go through and understand. We also got some new items and teasers for the next big update, so let's talk about everything starting with this humongous battery. This can store 8,192 units of power, which is more than you'll ever need, and can output it at 25 units per second. That means you can easily just fill one of these up and take it with you to start a brand new base just like that. It's gonna make everything extremely easy for you, and it's also useful for a lot of other things. With all of that, you would think this would probably be pretty expensive. That's what I thought at least, but it's not. It only costs 16,000 bytes to unlock, and then it's 2 lithium plus 1 zinc to craft it. That's insane. To put it into perspective, the medium battery, which can only hold 512 units of power, costs 1 lithium and 1 zinc. So for just 1 extra lithium, you can get a large one with more than 8,000 units. That means the large battery can hold up to 16 medium batteries of power in it. And let me tell you, 16 medium batteries will cost you 16 lithium and 16 zinc. That's not cheap, but one of these large batteries only costs you 2 lithium and 1 zinc. That's literally cheaper than 2 medium batteries. And the output is also pretty good, so we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, I heard a lot of people saying, what do we need this for if we have the tapper plus generator combo? And while that's right, you can have constant power going through your base. You don't need batteries in your base. You can still use batteries on your vehicles, on a shuttle. When you start a new base, for example, having a full one of these large batteries can make it so easy to start a base if you just put it on a rover or shuttle, and it will make it so easy for you to unlock gateway chambers around the planet. That's because it not only has a large amount of storable power, but also a quick output of 25 units per second, which is gonna be enough on its own for all the gateways across all planets except Glacio, for which you're gonna need 26. So basically just get one of these batteries and a small generator, and Aatrox, which needs 30. So for that you're gonna need like 3 small generators and one of these batteries. That literally means this battery can make finishing the game a lot easier and can make it completing it to 100% that much easier. And one more thing that people didn't really think about, you can also use this in co-op to share power between players. For example, I've got a large base on a planet and one of my friends is over on another planet having a pretty hard time getting resources and getting started. I can just fill up one of these batteries and I can drop it off near his base, or he can come and get it. This is a great way to move power from one place to another because it can store so much, and there are a lot of applications for this. So that's why we need them, and that's why we've been wanting them for years at this point. By the way, I want to make a video with 100 of these large batteries on a single base. So make sure to like this video and leave a comment if you want to see that next. Thanks for doing that, it helps me a lot. But now let's talk about the next big thing. The stacked platforms. We've got 2 new platforms, the small stacked platform and the medium stacked platform. The small one will only cost you 500 bytes to unlock and 2 resin to print. You can print it at the small printer and it will hold medium items. Then the medium one will also just cost you 500 bytes, but this time it's 3 resin at the medium printer and it can hold large items. Why is this so important though? Not only will this help you organize your base, that was pretty obvious, you can have vertical things, not everything has to be so horizontal in Astroneer. That's a great addition to the game, but also this will help you manage automation. I cannot tell you how many automations I did where I had auto arms laying on top of each other, glitching through other platforms because I needed them to move things in a cross pattern or in an X, and I couldn't do it. But now with these platforms I can have an auto arm on the bottom, an auto arm on the top, and they can each have a different item in their selector slot, so they can each do their own separate job without interfering. They can take both items from one side and put them on the other, or they can take one item from one side, put the other one back, or you can do a cross pattern where one is facing one way and the other is facing the other way. There are so many options you have here. You can also put multiple auto arms on the medium stack platform, and I think that's gonna help a lot. So for the next automations that I'm gonna do, I'm definitely gonna use some of these platforms because they really are a game changer and they are extremely cheap, just 2 and 3 resin for these. That's great. These also automatically adjust their height depending on what you place on the bottom. So if you place something a little bit bigger, it will automatically adjust, so nothing's gonna glitch through and everything's gonna look perfectly fine. But there's even more things you can do with these, and I encourage you to experiment, and please let me know if you find some other useful applications for these platforms. So far I found that you can place a trade platform on it and then your storage on the bottom, so you can have auto arms grabbing it with easy access without the trade platform getting in the way. But I'm sure you're gonna find other ways of using it. So let's talk about the print filters. I got a lot of comments saying they didn't understand how these work or what they did, and yeah, it's pretty confusing at the beginning, but these are actually actually very simple. So the Astroneer developers got a lot of complaints about the UI being a little bit cluttered and not that easy to understand and manage. So they got to work and created these filters as a solution. With these you can filter the items that you see in the menu of your printers. And that means if you don't want to see a certain section, you can just turn it off and you're not gonna see it on your printer as long as it's on the filter. But another side effect of this is that you can now have dedicated printers around your base. For example, one side of the base could be your platform printing, where you've got filters and all of your printers there, the medium one, the large one, even the small one, will just be set on platforms and you cannot see anything else in them. So that's gonna make it extremely easy for you to just craft your platforms there without bothering with all the other items. And then on another side of your base, you can have your vehicle crafting station or whatever, where you just have the vehicles activated. On another platform, you can just have your power section, where all the filters are set to only show the power, but you don't have to only have one at a time. You can set the printer to only hide one thing specifically, or you can set it to hide half of the things. It's very modular, so with this you can make your base your own. And another interesting thing that you might not have known is that if you've got a bigger filter, you can place even smaller printers on it. So for example, I can take the large print filter that works on the large printer, and I can place multiple medium or small printers on it, and that filter will filter all of them at once. This is good because it's more cost efficient and you don't have to go through a different filter for each printer to continuously select and unselect the things that you want and don't want to see. So yeah, that's a great tip right there. Use a bigger filter than you need, and that's gonna allow you to filter multiple printers at once. So we've got three filters. We've got the small one, which is 500 bytes to unlock, and one resin to craft at the backpack printer, and you can use it on the small printer. Then we've got the medium print filter. This is also just 500 bytes, but 2 resin to craft at the small printer, and you can use this on the medium printer or on 2 small printers as well. And finally, the large print filter, also 500 bytes to unlock, but 3 resin to craft at the medium printer, and this can be used on all printers, small, medium, and large. Next, we've got some brand new store items, but before we talk about that, please let me know in the comment section below, how did you set your filters? What do you want to see? What don't you want to see in Astroneer? I'm really curious about this because I don't know what to set mine on, so please give me ideas in the comments and I'll respond to each and every one of you. Now let's get back to those store items. This is a new set called the Dryad set, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I'm sorry. But this basically consists of a visor called the Verdant Vision, a palette called the Fey Out Loud, and a hat called the Backup. This looks pretty cool. I kind of want to get it, honestly. It looks amazing. But if you thought that was all, you would be extremely wrong, because in the blog post about the new elevated update, they also dropped a teaser image and just enough information to get us guessing what's gonna be next. So this is all about the next update. And I don't know what to tell you, but this image right here looks to me like a launch bay with multiple shuttles connected by a rail that can be automated. And yes, it looks exactly like cross-planetary automation. And that's something I've been talking about for years, other YouTubers have been talking about for years. Every single person in the community said they wanted this at some point through playing Astroneer. So this is something that absolutely every single Astroneer player wants. I've never once met a person that was like, what, cross-planetary automation? I don't want any of that, that sounds boring, or whatever. So could this finally become reality? Something that we've been wanting for years and years at this point. I think I've been playing Astroneer for like 7 years now, 8 years. I'm not really sure, but it's been a long time. And like 2 years into it, I was like, I kind of need a way to get this from here to here without me doing anything, you know? So yeah, I'm just extremely excited for this. But then they literally said, and I quote, no promises. So now I'm thinking, what if this doesn't work out? Because they've tried other things before, and during the development they had to change their plans or do it a different way, go a different route, stuff like that. I really hope this works out, so let's hope development goes smoothly on the next big update, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get it by the end of the year. They didn't say anything about that, but they did say they will get a roadmap out. Last year they got it at the very beginning of the year. Half of 2025 is already gone and we still don't have a roadmap, but we did get this elevated update this year, so there might be another one in stock for us. Now make sure to subscribe so you never miss an Astroneer update, and watch this video next. Thanks for watching, I've been Games for Life, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Astroneers!